Okay.
Oh, it's the second time I've done that.
I've got a bit of a paper towel.
Oh,
Yep, good start. The classic second album, second
that
episode.
difficult
Syndrome.
second series. Yeah,
There you go, mate.
thank you.
Cheers, dude. Good stuff. Look at this.
It's a lot colder than last night.
That's nice.
It was very nice. How are you, mate?
I'm very good.
I've slept on the news
Yep.
that you were running for the mayor of Geelong.
Yeah.
Shot. I'm only more excited.
Did you sleep well?
I slept so well.
Yeah, I slept good.
Yeah, and I think if the people of Geelong knew that you were running for mayor,
Yeah,
they would also sleep really, really well.
They don't even know yet.
That's right. That's, you know.
They don't even know that their whole lives are going to change. Come October 2024. They don't even know, man.
So, recap. Last episode,
Yep.
you decided,
Yes.
while having a delicious, succulent Indian meal,
Yes.
that you were going to run for the mayor of Geelong.
Sure. I mean, it just seemed obvious. Seemed like the next logical step in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From there, we've identified a few key points
Yep.
to the way that you're going to approach your mayoral candidacy,
Oh, well done.
which is everything's going to be online.
It'll all be online.
It'll all be online.
We took some great steps, enrolled in the right electorate.
Yes.
We're using a lot of words I would never use through all this.
That's the best part.
All these words are really tough coming out of my head. It's good to practice them.
Yeah.
We did that. Completed the certificate.
And what else is there to do?
Framed.
Yes.
It's a lovely frame too. Thank you for that.
You're more than welcome. I found it in my cupboard. So yeah. It had something else less important, But
Yeah. What did you have in there? It was
it was something from work qualification, 1,000 hours flying an aircraft. Just something unimportant or not
1,000
not
hours?
difficult. Yeah.
that is quite a milestone.
Yeah.
Not as much of a milestone as 100th mayor of Geelong,
No,
but
that wouldn't
people
be.
love ones and zeros.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So we did that. We sent the ex-mayor, Darren Lyons, a very nice Instagram message, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect.
I thought it was lovely.
Yeah.
Still, left me on red.
Okay, that's not what you want.
It's not what you want.
No.
That's not leadership.
No. Well, I mean, technically, he's not the leader anymore.
I'm impressed he read it.
Did he actually read it?
Yeah.
Oh, he did leave you on red. Oh no.
Yeah, but
Oh.
so we're gonna have to. I still want that interview.
Yeah.
We've already. You booked a hotel in Sydney, didn't you?
But I said, well, I mean, even when you told me, you're like, I don't think he's going to reply. He's read it and he hasn't replied.
Yeah.
I thought, fuck it, let's go to Sydney anyway. Because I tell you why, David.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you this for nothing, right? If we get up to him, don't know how we're going to find him, but if we do and put a camera in his face, he does not have one leg to stand on, given his history
Exactly.
of putting cameras in people's
It's
faces.
perfect because he was the paparazzi. He was king of paparazzi.
He was. Shoes on the other
Honestly,
foot, yeah.
I would just love that shot where he's like, "Oh, excuse me, why are you filming me?" And they'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." "Oh, sorry, Darren.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Am I being a bit invasive here? am I invading your privacy there?" I also don't feel bad about kind of shit talking him on this pod anymore because, left me on red.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
gloves are off now,
Well,
Darren.
see, this is the thing, right? I had a moment of reflection again, looking up the power lines where I do most of my thinking.
Sure.
And I thought, well, we really went a bit hard at him,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't talk about any of his good wins,
Yeah,
policies,
yeah,
like the free parking
Free
on
parking
weekends.
was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The tree's all right.
Well, I wasn't going to mention the tree. I was just going to stop at the free parking.
It was too expensive.
Yeah. But the fact is, he, just like very much you are doing right now, decided that he wanted to be mayor of Geelong and he made it happen. So you got to give him credit where that credit is due.
Yeah.
He then bullied and belligered his way out of the job, but that's neither here nor there.
But he got there, and that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be good at the job.
Yeah, well, he wasn't.
Yeah,
That's the best part.
That's not it.
I mean, I think he's got more of a chance of being a director from the ad that we watched as well. And if you haven't checked that out, check out the last episode.
Yeah, check out it. Yeah, you're really going to have to watch these in order, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't just jump into, this is an arc. I can hear your dog scratching at the... We're making art, dog.
Yes.
Dog.
It's just our hopes and dreams. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, we should explain the shirts.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, you go.
Well, we were in the shopping centre in Sale, Victoria. Lovely
Yep.
town. You
Yeah.
know, I wonder who's the mayor of this place.
I don't know if it qualifies to have a mayor. I'm sure there's a mayor.
Of a town? The town has a mayor.
Does it?
Yeah, it's got to.
It's got to.
So we were in this, and we were talking about Darren Lyons and like how we might, approach him, sort of
Yep.
thing. And then we see these wacky shirts in JJ's. We're like, well, this is the kind of thing he would wear.
Yeah.
So we want to like blend in to, to catch him.
So I don't know how well it's coming across on camera. You've got rubber duckies in
I've got
space with
Rubber
space
ducks
helmets.
in space. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful shirt, man.
Yeah, it says, it's the fabric as well. Like they have outdone themselves.
Yeah, honestly.
You know, I think it was $27 or something like that. So
24.50, mate.
yeah, okay. Well, sorry.
24.50
Yeah, you
Because
can put
it
the
was-
rest of that money towards your campaign.
because it was 30% off, $35
$35.
shirts.
Yeah, and I remember I tried to do the maths in my head. I was like, probably about $25.
And
And then you're like, oh no, it was $24.50, Tom. I was like, okay, well,
yeah, I remember these things.
hmm.
I also bought a pair of jeans for like $20, which
Yeah.
I think of everything in euros. That's 12 euros, dude. And the lady was like, oh, do you want to buy another pair, seeing as they're only $20? And I was like, I know how many pairs of pants I want to buy. I'm not like, oh yeah, actually.
Well, no, okay. So, but sorry, was it a discount for the second set, or was it just another one?
No, just another one. Yeah, it's
so
like,
you were buying one. You knew the price of those jeans.
Yeah.
You put them on the table, and you said, "Hey, this is my pair of jeans that I want to buy for $20." And she said, "Hey, you can buy the exact same pair again for the exact same price."
I was like, by this logic, I should buy all the pants in the shop.
Yeah. Well, they're only $20.
They're only
so-
$20. I should buy 5 pairs.
Anyway,
I bought them on a whim as well. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
throw them in. She's like, why don't you throw more in? You know?
you were looking fantastic.
You were
know,
looking
so
fantastic.
Thank you
Well,
very much.
you got pineapple
Yeah, pineapple and banana.
2 ways.
Yeah.
Oh, and a banana.
Yeah,
Lovely.
and you know,
So this is what I'm thinking, right? You know, so we're not gonna, he's not gonna reply to us. But I've been on his Instagram. This guy posts every 20 minutes,
yeah.
all day, every day. He says exactly where he is.
Yeah, so he's findable.
We're finding him.
Yeah, okay.
We're finding him. It's going to be a beautiful Sunday arvo
Yep.
in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to check his Instagram, and we are going to hunt this man down. I think that's legal.
Well, I mean, he would be very well versed on the legalities.
It's
or not.
paparazzi stuff. We're going to
Yeah.
paparazzi King Paparazzi.
No, but I see. The thing is, all right. I reckon there's 2 ways we can approach this. We can either go right in his face, or we can find where he is, not with a camera to start with.
Yeah.
We can go, hey, obviously you were trying to reply to the message, but you just got to be busy. We understand life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind if we bought you a drink if you could sit down and have 5 minutes with us?
Yeah. Okay.
That might be a nicer way of doing it, but I think the shock kind of Michael Moore, like, rah, is also not a bad.
It's funny.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. And he's the one guy you can do it to because he's Mr.
Because
Paparazzi.
he is Mr. Paparazzi.
I mean, we've got a long drive to think about anyway.
we do.
I'll keep getting onto him, on the drive
Yeah,
up
yeah.
anyway.
And the other really exciting thing is dug around the studio here. We are generally a bit of a landlocked studio here. We don't tend to go out in the field too much,
No.
but managed to pull on myself a gimbal, a nice set of lavalier microphones.
Yeah, we've got
It's just-
gear and everything.
It's gonna look and sound fantastic. It doesn't matter what the content is; it is gonna absolutely pop.
Yeah. We're gonna get good stuff either way. We'll be like, sitting
Oh,
at
man.
a hotel
I'm really
swimming pool.
excited.
Yeah.
And then, so we decided to go to Sydney, and it's about halfway to Noosa.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we may as well go to Queensland
Noosa. Yeah, let's just go to Queensland
for
So,
research. For research.
for research, because we're going to go to other small towns,
Yes.
and we're going to find out what their mayoral situation is,
Yeah.
and maybe just ask a few people on the street, what do they think about the mayor? Do they know the mayor? Do they
Yeah.
know what the mayor does?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do they think would they vote for me as mayor? In their city. I'm just curious if I can have a two. Listen,
Okay.
if I can have a 2-minute chat with just the man on the street,
Yeah.
friendly,
Yeah. Lovely.
and then just out of practice, like, would you vote for me if I told you nothing would change other than whatever you want to change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, but the thing is, right? This is what maybe you haven't considered is that it'll all be online, right?
Sure.
And that's great.
Yep.
But by definition, if everything goes to a vote, about half the stuff that goes up there is going to fail.
Yep.
For a vote.
Mm-hmm.
So not everyone's going to be happy all the time.
Oh,
Someone will
no.
put something up. So I think maybe when you think everything's going to be online, everyone will be happy, but maybe it'll piss people off. Like, have you ever been on this website? I don't know if you've heard of it, called Reddit. Everyone is always angry.
Oh, yeah, right.
And if you just make Geelong's Reddit,
I think that is one job, is that, you know, the administrators.
yeah,
I will have administrators in my administration.
yeah, well, obviously, moderators.
Moderators? Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. See, this is why I got you, man.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm
Not just
here,
a pretty
I'm
shirt.
Here for,
So yeah, we'll go up and just meet people. You know, meet real Australia.
yeah,
You know, I think it's going to be good for me. You know, because I got to get more in touch with my roots. You
yeah.
know?
If we could kiss 1 to 2 babies,
Yep.
I think that's a good way to get you.
Let's put
Back
that
on
on
the
on the list of things I need to get done. I got to kiss.
I
baby.
mean, not in a creepy way. And like, we don't.
Oh.
Let's not put that one above the line. It's not like there's 5 minutes left. We're about to go home. You're just kissing random babies on the plane back.
Yeah, okay. I think leave that to me. How leave the method up to me, man.
Okay, all right, okay.
Because Tom, you and I have always accomplished great things. You know, we've known each other almost 20 years.
That is a long time to know someone.
That's a long time to know someone, especially when you're only 30 something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
am I getting the math wrong?
No. When did I start? 2003. Because we graduated in 2006. I started in year 9.
Met you in 2003 in high school.
Yeah, and it's now 2023. 20
got-
years.
20 years. Cheers, mates.
Cheers.
20 years. Good stuff. This justifies the bloody road trip, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I was telling my wife that
It's our 20-year anniversary,
yeah,
Tom.
and in this 20 years, you and I have never actually been on a road trip together. We've done lots of other things. We've seen lots of great things, but
Yep.
we have not road tripped.
This is great.
So, you know,
This is good stuff.
it's going to be fantastic.
I mean, in 20 years, I mean, all right, so let's talk a little bit about high school, you know, because
Yep.
we've always been achieving huge things that people didn't think we could pull off, you know.
If you mean you graduating high school, then I mean, there was a select few of us that knew you could do it.
Yeah. I graduated. I did a real good graduation.
Yeah.
Yep. We were pulling great pranks too, man. We were pulling sick next level pranks. Like, you know, for even today they would stand up, you know.
I remember, I don't know if you remember, we probably do. It was great. So, year 10 science.
Year 10 was when we were absolute menaces.
At the top
Yeah.
of our game. Because let's be honest, year 11, 12, you're probably concentrating on university.
Yes.
Or like where you're going to go. Actual scores doesn't matter. Year 10, everything's a bit easy anyway.
Yeah, year 10 there was nothing on the line in year 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was year 10 science. I don't know if you remember the story. So Mrs. Filling.
I know exactly the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't thought about it in a long time though.
So I just want to tell this correct. So remember the Nokia 3310?
Yeah.
That little phone that's just iconic. It's the iconic Nokia phone.
It's the snake machine.
The snake machine, and
Yep.
it was indestructible. There's memes about it, like,
Sure.
you know. Well, I went to the reject shop, $2 shop, something like that.
Yeah.
And there was a toy that I swear came out of the same mold. Like, it looked like a real phone.
It did.
But it was a $5 toy.
Yeah.
And it was cheap. It was not built to the same specifications.
Well,
It
it was empty, you know. It was
Yeah.
just like just a bunch of like weightless
cheap
plastic bits.
and cheap electronics that you press the buttons that it make beep 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 sounds.
Oh,
and all
it
that sort of-
did?
Yeah, it did. It made
Okay.
little sounds, but like it had enough electronics in it to look. Well, I mean, it's important. That's kind of important that it had some electronics in it.
You're right, actually.
So we were there in high school, being menaces, and poor Mrs. Filling. I feel like
No.
no,
She had it coming.
she did.
She was trying to teach us science. She was a bitch.
Yeah, how dare she teach a bunch of adolescents something that they don't want to learn?
We weren't interested, Tom.
Anyway, you got your phone out and started making little beeps from your phone.
That's right. There was a real phone
Yeah,
as well.
there was a real phone as well. This is how we got it done. And like legitimate like text sounds coming out of that.
Can I go back a little bit?
Yeah.
How I found out about the phone is you came up to
That's right.
the classroom
Yeah.
door first, and you were like, "Hey, look, I got a new phone." I was like, "All right, cool. You know, who cares?" And you're like, "Here, look," and you threw the phone to me, but you threw it and it hit me in the gut, and like, so I almost caught it too because
Yeah,
I'm
it
a
was
bloody
juggler.
I'm
It
a
was
bloody good catch.
You are. It was a juggler, man. It was good.
And
Oh,
it fell
I
to
forgot
the
about that part,
ground and smashed into a million pieces. And of course, I was like, I felt a bit bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt
Especially because I was like, why didn't you catch it? That's my brand new phone.
because you sold it so well,
Yeah.
you know. And as soon as I realized it was a fake phone, we were both like, I don't know who said it first, but I'm like, we have to put this on a bigger scale, you know.
Yeah, and me, I was probably still thinking at uni at that time. I'm like, yeah, you do it.
Yeah, everyone was like, you do it.
Yeah.
Kind of story of high school, really. Like, get Dave to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so fast forward, we're in class, you're making beeping sounds, and Mrs. Filling is getting irate. She's, the next person who makes, and I think there was 4 or 5 of us, coming from different areas of the room.
That's right. Everyone's, because also this is like the first year we have mobile phones.
Yeah, it's a new thing, right?
Yeah.
It is a new thing. I don't know what the kids of today would think about this, but like phones were just like, even just having one meant that your parents had enough money to give you one, which was not common. Not everyone had one. Anyway.
No, true.
So, sound's gone off everywhere, and she's getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And then you did one really loud, and she just locked eyes with you and went, David Adams, give me that phone right now. And you just went, okay, looked at her and gave the best shitty throw I've ever seen. It was
Perfect.
It was good enough to know that it could have been a legitimate attempt.
Yes,
but
it
it
was
also
close enough.
hit the corner of the table.
Oh, it
and
did.
it went, like, I think bits hit her in the face and it went everywhere.
Into like 20, 30 tiny little bits scattered all over the floor.
It was so good. And everyone, like, was trying to look serious.
Everyone held it together. Yeah,
it was a good group effort.
Yeah.
And then you went, you were supposed to catch it.
Why didn't you catch it?
And then she got very, very defensive, and she was like, "No, you threw it at me poorly. Like you supposed to come up and give. I didn't mean throw it at me." And you're like, "But you said right now."
Yeah. I'm like, and you're a sports teacher. You know, she was science, but she was
did PE as well, didn't she?
Yeah. Softball stuff like that. I was like,
so
you're the sports teacher,
and I mean. The rest of the class, I mean, I think her mind was on it. And you need to tell the last bit of the story because I'm still not 100% sure what happened. She said, David, stay behind. We all left and pissed ourselves the minute we walked out.
So the rest of the lesson is over and she's just like, it's quiet reading time. She's like, read from pages 40 to 70, just read until the bell goes while I try and put this phone back together. So we were reading and she's sitting there with like all the pieces. She picked up all the pieces off the ground too, you know what I mean? So it's accepting all the fault. Honestly, it's a really high level, for like a bunch of 13-year-olds. It's kind of clever, man. Anyway, at the end of the class, we're all leaving. She's like, David, stay behind. I'm like, yeah, obviously I want my phone back. Yeah. So she goes, so I've put the phone back together and it's not actually a real phone. She looks at me like, I hope it's not a real phone. She says it like it's a fact, but she's like, it's not actually a real phone.
A little upflexion at the end there,
And I was like, what? What? She just gave me the phone back and she's like, let's just forget this sort of thing happened. I think because the prank was so good.
Yeah, you need to respect it. I think the
relief of her relief that she didn't break a real phone got me completely off the hook,
And you were explaining how the current mayor of Geelong was from the Geelong College, which is a very prestigious.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What school were we from? Oh, the same. That same very rich white boy school.
Quite.
So I think the other level that those teachers had to deal with was not just the students being absolute little menaces, but then someone's lawyer parent getting upset when the phone that they've just bought their child has been. So I think she was a moment of terror there that she was dealing with someone.
That was like before all the teachers realised that my parents would always side with them. It was just early enough in high school where they thought my parents might be scary or something.
Oh man,
so,
that's
a great prank, man.
That is a great prank.
That is not the greatest prank of all time. The greatest prank of all time you pulled on me again. There's a pattern here.
Which one are you?
It was when you took me for a flight in that tiny aeroplane.
I do remember that. That was
What was the name of the airplane? It's the smallest plane I've ever seen.
It's called a Cessna 150 Aerobat.
We have to tell this story.
So I think it was originally designed in the 1950s, 1960s maybe. I mean, it's a pretty, like, you think of a Cessna and that's what it is. It looks like. It's a little tiny plane.
The way I imagine it is, the way I remember it is this plane had rust on it.
Oh, yeah, it was rusty. She was old,
It was
man.
an old, small, rusty plane.
Yeah, I think, I think it was built in the 1950s and had about 150 horsepower when it was new. So if it lost 2 horsepower like every year, it'd have 40 left. But
that's the thing. It was a slow plane.
It was, but I also I remember like telling you what we were going to do.
Yeah.
And again, between you and I, there's always been a level of mistrust. Not out of anything but love.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm talking to you, going, we're going to go upside down. We're going to do loops. We're going to do barrel rolls, mate. I hope you haven't eaten too much, but make sure you've eaten something. You're like, I just had a coffee. It'll be fine.
I had a coffee.
It was not fine.
No.
Yeah. And you were getting a bit nervous. You were getting a bit worried. We're driving out through, this was actually in Sydney, in Richmond.
Yep.
And we're heading out towards the aeroplane. And then you see the aeroplane and you're just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, okay. All this crazy stuff he said he was going to do, he's obviously not going to do it. Also, the guys at the hangar, they go, oh, so what are you going to do? You're going to go up and just check out the sites, or that sort of thing? And you're like, no, we're going to do like serious aerobatics. And they were like, oh, please don't do that. and then you said, oh no, I'm in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like, oh. Like, these like grown men, like, because how old were you? You must have been like 20. Then, like 24 or something.
No, well, so that would have been what? That would have been 2010, start of 2010, and 2009. So what was that? I was 21.
21 years old.
Yeah,
that's wild, dude. Because you were doing aerobatics at the time.
Yeah. I got a bit more to the story that you don't even know.
Okay,
right, I've got another nugget to tell you at the end of the story.
Okay,
so continue.
Okay, fantastic. So they're like, once I see the plane, I'm 100% certain you're not going to do any of that crazy stuff.
Yep.
And so I relax,
Yeah.
So anyway, we get in this thing, and you and I are shoulder to shoulder. Like, I was bigger than I am now, and you were bigger than I am now.
Yeah.
We were both two very big boys.
I wasn't small back then. Yeah.
And the two of us are in this. We had to like squeeze in to close the doors.
Yeah, I remember saying, Dave, suck it, and then trying to slam the doors. We were wedged in there.
We were like in a corset. Sort of thing.
Yeah, it was good.
So
we went out. We started the engine. We took off, and my favorite thing. I know we'll talk about the aerobatics and the other stuff later, but my favorite thing is that you were so calm the whole time, right? You were so calm until we took off at a speed which your mind said there was no way we should be airborne.
We were going like 30 kilometers an hour or something is what it felt like. It felt like we were in second gear and you just wanted to like lift off from the earth. I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, too soon. Like, need for speed.
There are swear words that I have not heard before or since.
I can't remember what they were, but I was just saying things.
It was amazing. And then the instant I lifted off, I realised it was my favourite day. Like, it was just, what was coming from that side of the airplane was filling me with so much joy.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. So we get out.
We take off somehow.
It takes a long time. Yeah, we're heavy.
The plane sounds like it's a laboured effort.
It sounds like it was a plane built in the 1950s.
We're plotting up forever. I remember like someone talks to us on the radio for a second there, and it's like, and they're like mad at us that we're in the wrong spot or something. Do you remember anything like that? Maybe it's just like airplane.
No, it would have been that. Yeah, it's just how people.
But
talk.
I'm just like perceiving things in weird ways, I'm like, oh god, we're in trouble or something, because I was like, how are we allowed to do this? Like 21, 22-year-old boys. I'm like, there's no way this is responsible.
This is technically legal.
So we go up and then we do a trick.
Yeah, well, so I think I built it up because I was like, all right, well, I'm going to ease you into this. This is a nice way for someone who's never done aerobatics before, tricks in aeroplanes, to ease them in. Is you do one, you stop, you go, how you feeling?
Yeah, okay.
And then you go, all right, we'll ease into another one. You build it up slowly. And the aircraft that I've been flying for the last, 15 years now,
yeah,
they can handle that. They've
Yeah.
got plenty of power, and it's not really too much of a problem. I remember saying the same thing to you, and we did one loop, and we had lost so much altitude that I'm like, well, I can't stop. I just got to do all the aerobatics I can now, because otherwise we're just not going to have any energy left.
So that's what it. So that's what it was. So we didn't just do one trick and
No,
stop.
no, we did a few. So I did the first loop, and I went, we better just keep going, because I need to use whatever speed I've got now, because the instant I stop, I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to be low, and it's going to take us half an hour to climb up again.
Right. Right. Okay.
So that was the first that got into it, and then the best prank I've ever pulled in my life.
Okay. This is sort of how I remember it. I remember that we did a loop. Like we went all the way up. I remember I sort of was pulling on the thing. Like, I
think I could say, hey, mate, you have a go.
because you got two little,
It's called a yoke. It's called a yoke.
Yoke.
Yeah, yoke.
Yeah, nice one.
No, it's just yeah.
So you're pulling the thing up, and you're like, just wait until the picture is the same as it is now. So I'm just like, looking until the horizon comes back up. You told me since then that you're fully doing it. But it felt like I was doing it.
Yeah.
So we did it. Then when we came level, then it was like, you're like, all right, now we're going to do a barrel roll, I think, maybe?
Yeah,
That's where
up,
planes
and
kinda
you
like-
introduce it. No, so that's an aileron roll.
What's that one?
The one where you just go around, that's called an aileron roll, where you just around.
Okay, we did that too, didn't we?
We did that as well, and a barrel roll, which is a combination of an aileron roll and a loop. So you sort of you go around the outside of a barrel. That's why they call it a barrel roll.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense now, because I just remember just being so disorientated.
Yeah, that's
and
what
so
it would
confused.
be. Yeah.
So we did that sort of barrel roll.
Yeah.
And then we did what you referred to as the Cuban 8.
Yeah, the Cuban.
Right. Can you explain what? Because to me, I was just like, I think I think it was an infinity symbol sort of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, mate.
So we went, but there's some turns in it, isn't it? So
yeah. So essentially, you do 3/4 of a loop, then hold yourself on your back, and then you roll back upwards, and then you go down the hill, and you do the same thing the other way, and it transcribes that infinity symbol, that figure 8.
Yeah.
That's what's called a Cuban 8.
It made me violently ill.
Oh, really ill. Yeah.
I was just like,
I forgot sick bags. That's on me. I was the captain. So yeah.
You did say at any point, like, if you get sick, just tell me and I'll give you my glove.
And I did. I pulled off my flying glove.
You had lovely gloves.
Yeah.
But before that, I think there's a picture of us before and after. By the way, we're so happy. Then afterwards, I am as green.
Yeah, I'm still pretty happy. If anything, I'm happier.
We're doing this Cuban 8, and then I think this is where I exaggerate the story a little bit. Whenever I tell this,
Go.
to friends, like, to me, we head straight for the sky, and then like kind of stall or something and head to the ground.
That's called a stall turn.
So is that what we did?
Yeah, we did a stall turn as well.
Okay. Because I'm always thinking I'm exaggerating.
No,
when
that's what happens.
So we headed straight for the sky. Like, I wasn't aware that was a thing.
Yeah.
So we're heading, and then the engine cuts out.
No, engine doesn't cut out.
Okay, but
you sort of lose that feeling of movement. The engine sounds a little bit less because like everything stops shaking as much.
the engine
you're essentially
was
stopping. The aeroplane is stopping in midair. The engine's still going.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't cut the engine off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what I'm exaggerating.
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
Because it felt like the power was gone, because the engine was so noisy and you could really feel it. And
you also have about probably 250 kilos of man going up in a 130 horsepower aeroplane, which is probably heavier than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that's essentially, because it's just that feeling of like flopping
and falling
towards
down.
the ground.
Yeah.
And the ground is getting like closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for you to pull it up, and it's just not happening.
I'm so happy with this.
I'm like, can you stop? I'm just like, stop, like, please, please, And then you are looking at the thing, and then you say to the airplane, you're not even talking to me anymore. And I'm like, oh God, he's just dealing with airplane stuff now. And then you yell at the airplane, come on, you fucking piece of shit. And I was like, we're dead. We are dead. I'm dead, and I'm not ready to die.
Got him.
That's so good, man.
Oh, I still love that story. It's
How close do you think we were to the ground when you leveled out? To
couple-
me, it's like 30 meters. Oh, no, 30 centimeters.
No, it was probably 3,000 feet, mate.
What's that in kilometers? What's that in meters?
In meters, so it's 3. So it's about 1,000 meters.
A kilometer.
Yeah, it's a kilometer. It's a kilometer, mate.
To me, I could see the blades of grass.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, man. That's what it feels like.
But that's so cool, man. That's I think that's my favorite story,
Yeah.
dude.
I
I really thought I was dead.
yeah,
You know, like, you know, that's the perfect prank.
it is because you
We-
didn't die.
No.
And so ultimate relief.
Oh, do you know how good it feels to not die?
Yeah.
When you are 100% certain that you are dead. Like the feeling of euphoria. I was
man.
like, I'm going to do things with my life. Oh man, maybe that's why. Maybe if you hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have thought I could become mayor.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Segue. Okay, but I want to stop you before we get back into talking about what this podcast is allegedly all about. So, since that time, I've done about 3,000 hours aircraft flying. 2,000 of that has been ejection seat, high performance flying.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I was very junior. I'd done my first stage of training
Right.
on a very small, very similar type of aeroplane that had 300 horsepower. So it could get up and go compared to the old Cessna.
Yeah.
And I look back on it and I go, from my experience now and how much I've learned over my time being a pilot, that was fucking dumb. Everything we did.
I knew it.
I didn't check.
I knew it.
Didn't check weight and balance, so I'm surprised the airplane got airborne at all.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, I was confident at the time. I had
You
no
were very
qualms.
confident.
Hey, and did we die?
I mean, no,
Yeah.
we didn't.
And
So I didn't check weight and balance. What else is it? This is news to me. You've never told me.
no, I haven't. So, well, the thing is, you could check weight and balance, but then you're just not going to go flying. So I wasn't going to do that. At the time, I only had the most minimal license that you could. I was authorized to do aerobatics. I was authorized to go flying in that local airspace in that particular airplane, and that was about. And I could take one passenger, and that was about the limit of what I could do.
Okay.
The aerobatics thing is what came from the military, right? That's not something that people tend to get at that point in their training anyway. So it's like, so imagine, if you will, you're learning how to drive and you're not in a Formula One car. You're in say a Datsun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most people work their way up to driving, say, the Nürburgring or something.
Yep.
And you do about 15 hours in that Datsun and someone goes, all right, you go race.
Okay.
That's what it's kind of like being a military pilot because they introduce this stuff where they shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay.
But at the end of the day, it was just a memory that I'll never forget.
I'll never forget the feeling, man. You know.
And I think it's those kind of experiences in life where you go through some hardship and things aren't going quite the way you feel, but you persevere, that have set you up perfectly for your mayoral campaign here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it, Tom. And also, of course I can do it. Have you seen some of the Australian politicians?
Well, I mean,
dude, some really stupid people have been elected into very important roles in this country. I mean, in lots of countries. But people don't realize that Australia has funnier politicians than America. You know, we've had some really good stuff. Like we've had like the George Bush types before George Bush. We have, we've had Trump before Trump. You know, we've kind of been on it. They're the videos I've pulled up for you today. So
Okay.
we are going to look at some videos again today. Every time we do this, I want to show stuff. I want people to learn about Australia as well here. You know, this is a cultural experience.
Multi-country. I mean, obviously you've got lots of friends over in Europe, in Berlin, and I've got.
So we need to talk about, I think the funniest Prime Minister we ever had, Tony Abbott.
Tony Abbott. I mean, just to look at the guy.
I mean, yeah, pull up his picture here. Tom, I love that. This technology, good on you. This is a great setup. People have to be watching this and going like, these guys are wearing shirts.
And if that's all he could wear, he could wear a mean shirt.
He's got a button. He's not even on a computer. He's got a little box thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's basically just a keyboard, but it's fine.
See, so humble. So humble. So this is Tony Abbott.
Yep.
He was, I always said he was our George Bush. He was like the silly, conservative guy that
super Christian.
said dumb things all the time. And,
yeah, he was.
This was kind of his first scandal. This is when he's doing talkback radio.
Yep.
Do you remember this one?
I don't. I don't think I've
Okay.
seen this before.
Fantastic. He's doing talkback radio on ABC
Yep.
in Melbourne.
Yep.
And I've just read that. And and people are calling in, you know, questions of the Prime Minister. So this lady calling in, and she has she's like, you know, she's on the disability. I mean, she's about to describe her situation, but she's like, you know, saying she has problems.
Yep.
And so anyway, let's roll the clip.
Let's watch it.
Gloria, you're speaking Abbott, the Prime Minister.
Hiya.
Hi,
Mr.
Gloria.
Abbott,
Hi.
I would like to ask you if you'd like your mother or your grandmother to be in my situation. I'm a 67-year-old pensioner,
Okay.
3 chronic incurable medical conditions, 2 life-threatening.
That's not nice.
I just survive on around $400 a fortnight after I pay my rent. And I work on an adult sex line to make ends meet. Now, that's the only way I can do it. I've worked out...
He did it.
Yeah,
Oh, can we have a look at that
So,
again?
yeah, so he forgot it was being filmed. He just thinks he's on the radio, you know.
Yeah, of
So
course.
he's
Let's just watch it again.
That's
Work
it,
on
yeah.
an adult sex line to make ends meet.
There he
Yeah,
is.
so he said that he had something in his eye. So because
That
because
looks
he
like-
got busted,
That looks like a man who has something in his eye.
and the smile that comes
Fortnight after
after
I pay
it.
my rent. And I work on an adult sex line to make ends meet. Now, that's the only way I can
And
do
the
it.
smile
I
too.
worked
The
out,
smile like don't laugh.
and my maths isn't crash hot, that it's going to cost me at least an extra $850 a year
There's
with
the camera.
increases
You see the camera.
medical
no.
visits
See
and
the moment he
medication.
sees the camera.
Oh, I saw the moment he died inside.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
have a
yeah,
look
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Let's go
It's
back.
absolutely
That
look
it's
at
gonna
that
cost me
face.
at least
of
an extra
absolute
$850
camera.
a year with the increases
Oh,
serious.
no.
Yeah.
Poor Mr. Abbott.
Yeah. He was the
Gee.
Prime Minister of the country, you know.
Yeah.
He was. I think no one's ever been sillier since him.
He's been pretty silly, hasn't he?
He was the silly one. He was the one that was. Oh yeah. Okay. He was the guy that said. Do you know this video? So this is a bunch of soldiers in Australia that were I can't remember where they were.
It looks like Iraq to me.
Yeah.
It's either Iraq or Afghanistan. That's the old style sort of desert disruptive camouflage pattern uniform, DPCUs.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Look at this. Just let's let this one speak for itself.
medical visits and
Oh, sorry. That's the last video. Still going.
Yeah. We're yeah. Here we go.
But we all live in life. But all the stuff that you see here and more was available.
It's really obvious that
Yeah, look, you've taken this
Yeah.
out of context.
So yeah, so that's I mean that's a bit of a, you know, I can kind of understand.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, oh well, shit happens. You know, the guy's saying that this man died.
Yes.
So the Prime Minister's response is, oh well, you know, sometimes shit happens. I
Yeah.
can sort of get it, right?
Yeah.
It's here now. It's when the journalist asks him and he says it's out of context. And the journo asks him, well, what is the context? And this is like the biggest, the longest, most pregnant pause of silence you'll ever get from a politician. Check this one out.
You weren't there. I would never seek to make light of the death of an Australian soldier.
Okay, well, tell me, what's the context? And if it's out of context, what is the context? You're not saying anything, Tony.
I've given you the response you deserve.
Oh,
How long was that, man?
Almighty.
How long was that pause? That was the thing. He was just never really sharp. you
No,
know?
he wasn't. And, you know, at the end of the day.
He became the Prime Minister and he just
Yeah.
wasn't smart at all.
And, you know.
Are you doing
No, I'm giving you
Tony
the
Abbott
response
pause?
you deserve. It works in every situation, mate.
Yeah. I've given you the response you deserve.
Yeah.
He did weird things constantly, man.
All right. Well, Dave, I think
Beer?
beer is empty.
Yeah.
It's a good time for everyone to have a break, have a wee.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
We'll be
very,
back
very
right
shortly.
now, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
for
this is
you-
a break for us.
Yeah.
You
for
can pause if you want.
Yeah.
Go and get a beer yourself if you want. We got a few more videos to play. We'll be right back right after this instant moment. Wait. Ah, that's better.
Yeah.
That was weird.
That was
for a sec.
really weird.
Ooh, that was uncomfortable. Bit of
Yeah.
physical comedy there, Tom. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Missed me.
Well done, mate.
Yeah,
Hey, that's
wordplay
definitely how you say that.
as well. Cheers, mate.
Oh, cheers.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
This is even nicer than the last beer. That's Num Nums.
That is lovely.
Delicious beer, actually.
Yeah.
Mountain Goat. I love Australian beer, dude.
Again, this is something that I thought the German population would do well, but you tell me otherwise.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah. Okay.
It's cheap, but this tastes premium. You know.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
So we're dealing with Tony Abbott.
Tony Abbott. We got one more Tony Abbott clip. This was the big one. This
Yep.
is where he ate a raw onion.
Sorry, say those words again.
This is where he ate a raw
Prime
brown
Minister of
brown
Australia.
onion too, and with the skin on. This is kind of when we realize like this guy's a bit weird.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the moment. All right, chuck this one because this is. I love also that like it's news reports. You know,
Yeah.
in Australia, you know, they never just show you a clip. Like, this
Tony
guy's-
Abbott has talked about why he bit into a raw onion last week. Vision of the Prime Minister eating the vegetable, complete with skin, has been shown in Australia and abroad. Speaking to radio station 2SM this morning, Mr Abbott offered this explanation.
I thought it was very important that I should show my support for the great products that the Tasmanian agricultural industry produces, and I enjoy onions. I normally have them cooked on the barbecue, but I enjoy onions.
Yeah, trying to be the everyday
The industry group
everyday
Onion-
man there. He's like, well, I normally enjoy them cooked on the barbecue.
On the barbecue, because I
'Cause-
definitely have them.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
use the barbecue.
Yeah, well, at least Juanita does.
Yeah,
I mean, what?
I turn the fire on. I know how it works. Barbecue.
Yeah, obviously.
We barbecue. He's like, well, you know, I wanted to support the local farmers, so that's why I kept the skin on.
Yeah. We weren't questioning your choice of food. I mean, it's a bit weird, but why the hard?
He doesn't
outer
even
shell?
know that the real question is like, why didn't you even take the skin off? Like that's like lizard people stuff.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, an apple.
I think as well, I just would like to be in his mind for that moment when he's looking at it. Someone's given it to him. Obviously, they're not expecting him to eat
Tiny
the raw
little
onion.
one as
Yeah,
well.
it wasn't a big onion. It
It's
was
not
a
an-
small one because of the war, you know.
It wasn't like an onion to show off about.
Yeah,
It's like, you know,
it was
like,
just like,
look
hey,
at
have a look.
thing.
This is what we produce. I think that's probably how it got handed to him. Here, we make these.
Yeah,
We grow these, and he went, "All right, someone's given me something.
yeah,
I'm supposed to do something with it.
yeah,
What am I expected to do? Obviously, I just take a big old bite.
yeah.
I enjoy onions on the barbecue normally.
What a fucking weirdo! So weird, so weird.
That is really weird.
So that was
the Prime
that's
Minister.
a prime minister. You know,
You're not even going for that yet.
No.
Yeah.
No, just the mayor of the greatest city in Victoria, apart from Melbourne and
Probably Horsham, Bendigo.
Bendigo's pretty
Shepparton,
nice. Yeah,
yeah.
Shep's nice. Yeah. Torquay's lovely.
Yeah, some of the smaller regional towns like Lakes Entrance,
Yeah.
Paynesville are also very nice.
Point Lonsdale,
Yeah, it's beautiful
lovely
as well.
place.
Yeah.
Ocean Grove,
Yeah, Janjak.
Janjak, beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But up there in the top 20 or 30 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fastest growing city in Australia.
Fastest growing city in Australia. My mum said so.
Yeah.
So that's enough on the Prime Minister. Dude, I found this video today, which you haven't seen this one, man, because I'd never heard of her. What's her name? Her name is, and I'm not sure which part of government she's in. Her name's Michelle Cash, right?
Yeah.
And the name of this.
Let's have a look at it.
There she is. So
Oh.
look, that is look at the hair too.
Yep.
That is an Australian politician lady hair, like you know,
Yeah.
and the red like blazer.
Yeah, very stern. Yeah.
Well, she seems stern, right? But she has a passion that you're about to
Okay,
really enjoy.
I'm
She
excited.
has a passion for curry. She loves curry.
Okay,
and it's
well.
all tying in, you know, because this all started in an Indian restaurant.
It
you know.
sure did.
This, like,
The
Michaela.
Condor down on.
I think I said Michelle before, but it's Michaela
Michaela.
Cash. I don't think I've ever seen someone as enthusiastic about curry.
All right.
I hope I'm not building this up too deep.
You've never led me
Check
astray.
this out.
Bad call from the government is to go and have a curry for the...
Go and have a curry for the country. Hey, I'm going to tell the Prime Minister that one. A curry for the country. I love it. I love Indian food. It's my favourite food. I promise you I will do that.
Whoa!
I want to replay that.
What happened there?
Curry for the...
Go and have a curry for the country. Hey, I'm going to tell the Prime Minister that one. A curry for the country. I love it. I love Indian food.
when she gets serious, you know, she's like, oh, I love Indian food. How does she say food?
It's food.
Yeah, is that just being Australian, or is she?
I think that's Kath and
That's
Kim.
her face there, where it gets serious, because she
Indian
was.
food. It's my favourite food. I promise you I will do that.
They're back into Crazy Woman again. Jeez
Look at her go.
Louise.
I knew you would love that.
Oh, that's my favourite food. But she's instantly like, it didn't take much for her to get that. Someone just mentioned a curry.
Yeah.
She just
curry
lit
for
up.
the country or something like that. You know.
Oh, don't tell the Prime Minister that. Why not? Why does the Prime Minister not like a curry? I know we had a Prime Minister. Have you seen? So this one's not. This is from left field.
Tell me.
Scott Morrison.
Yeah.
He was cooking a curry in his kitchen.
I don't know this. What's this?
He posted this picture during his re-election campaign, and again, all you need to know about Scott Morrison is he secretly appointed himself to be every cabinet minister.
Yeah.
He was just he failed upwards to prime
He
minister.
also went on holiday when Australia was on fire.
Yeah, literally most of Australia was burning. So much smoke that when I was living in New Zealand, we got the smoke from Australia.
Yeah.
And he was in Hawaii.
Yeah. He went to
He
Hawaii while it was. Yeah,
It
exactly.
wasn't there and got rushed home. He went, well, my job's done.
Well, what he said was, he's like, well, it's not like I'm there with the hose.
Yeah.
This is what he said. People were like,
And I will say this about the guy we talked about, Tony Abbott, before. He is a volunteer firefighter, and he does get out there every time there's a bushfire. So we can rag on him, but he does do the CFA thing, and he does it right.
Fair
and
play.
He doesn't do it for publicity because
I didn't know
one
that.
knew about it for a long time.
I didn't know that.
Anyway, Scott Morrison posted this picture on his official Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of him holding up a curry that he's made in his kitchen. And it says, strong curry, strong economy.
No.
The best part about it is that it's a chicken curry and it's undercooked, quite obviously undercooked.
What do you
And
mean?
the top, it's like pink inside. You can see some of it showing through and they are pink. Right?
Can you show it to me? Is that a tough Google? This is the first time I'm asking Tom to Google on the fly here.
Just give me some filler and we'll see if we can find it.
Yeah, so ScoMo was what his name was.
Scott Morrison.
The picture I know of him is when he's in Hawaii, while the country's on fire. Someone spots him on the beach.
Yeah.
So they get a photo with him, and he's doing he's doing holiday faces with people. He was what happened to him in the end?
He was also playing a ukulele at some point.
That's
so we took
right.
a picture of him. His country was burning.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Playing
Morrison serves up raw chicken curry. Let's have a quick look at this.
Oh, so this is the picture. Okay.
Yeah. So Morrison serves up raw
It's
chicken
pink.
curry. Yeah, it is.
Oh my god. I always love these articles like that. That's not a political metaphor.
So there it is. He goes, nice to have a nice night at home. So curry it is. Sri Lankan, Trinidad eggplant and okra curry and a classic chicken korma. Strong curry, strong economy, stronger future.
Yeah.
And I think the top post from that was said, a strong night for you on the porcelain or something like that. And let's not forget, this is the Prime Minister that shat himself at a local McDonald's in Sydney once.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah,
That's
right.
like the I think Ngami or something, someplace McDonald's. It comes up all the time, and
I remember that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
we've
we've
really
got a good
silly prime
history
ministers.
of prime ministers, don't we?
We also have a history of like that journalist before going like, oh Tony, you're not answering the question. You're not like our journalists are like kind of hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not in a good way.
No, I don't think in a good way.
No.
No. They're kind of bullies.
Yeah, and they
in some
don't
way.
let you think. I mean, Tony was thinking for a long time. For someone whose
Yeah, that was
primary job is to take in information, think about it, and give a response, he was taking too long.
Yeah, and imagine talking to the Prime Minister, like, you're not answering Tony. Like, first name basis.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He's practically calling him, like, Tones. You're not answering Tones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should send that to Daz. You're not answering Daz.
It's like, or saying, I should. It's like going up to Donald Trump, it's all Mr. President, But he'd be like, Don, come on, Don, answer the question,
You're
Don.
not answering Don.
Come on, Don.
It's huge. It's huge.
So the
everyone's got a Trump.
This next one is another great example of journalists just being so hardcore. Once they know they have a politician on the ropes, once they know that a politician can't give a good answer, they just smash.
Is this Husey though, or is it someone else?
This is just a setup, but no.
Okay. Because I better say if it's Husey.
That's
reporters.
an Aussie comic.
Yeah,
they're just setting it up. We've grabbed it from whatever the show that was on.
That's the project.
The project, whatever.
More.
We have a 6-point plan to make sure that we do stop the boats.
6 points. Could you run through them for us?
Well, I can run through all the details of the points, but look, the main thing is...
The 6 points. The 6 points.
Under Kevin Rudd, the boats...
The 6 points. Turn back the boat.
Look, here's the thing. The boats started under Kevin Rudd, and we have a plan to stop the boats.
And the 6 points are?
Well, one of the points would be, the key point would be stopping the boats. We're safe to do so. We have a plan to stop the boats. It is under the Labor Party.
Forget about Labor. We're talking about the Liberal Party. What are the other 5 points?
Well, he's going hard.
It is under the Labor Party that all...
The other 5 points?
Well, I've answered your question.
You've said turn back the boats. You told me it was a 6-point plan. What about the other 5 points?
Yeah, well, we have a plan to stop the boats.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
No other points? What will you do for pensions?
Brutal.
For pensions.
Let him off at the end there. What will you do for pensioners?
Yeah. Oh, man. That reminds me of a scene in The American Office towards the end, just after Steve Carell left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they're doing the search for the new boss, and
that's right.
Jim Carrey makes an appearance, Will Ferrell, and it was the guy that plays Job in Arrested Development. His name is Will
Arnett.
Yeah, Will Arnett.
Yeah.
And they're like, I have a 6-point plan to maximize profitability. And they're like, could you give us I'm not going to give you the plan, because then you just take the plan, you want homie. And he goes, oh, well, could you give us one of the points? I will give you a subset of one of the points of the plan. Okay. Color code said documents. TM.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Oh man, what a struggler.
That was brutal.
That was so brutal. But the thing is, if that were to happen to you, you were put in his position, you said something, it's just come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, actually, I don't have an answer for that.
I'm never going to be silly enough to say, like, I have a 6-point plan and not know what the thing is. You know what I mean? And also, that guy's a politician too.
Yeah, that's right.
That guy was dumb.
Well, no, he wasn't, because he was running. So he's not a politician.
Do you think he was running?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
But for the Liberal Party, because they had a 6-point plan.
Yeah.
And it started under Kevin Rudd.
So he was running. He was a candidate.
Yeah, he must have been.
Yeah, I'm going to do a better job than that guy. I'm not going to say we have a 6-point plan and not know what the 6. I'm not going to have a 6-point plan.
Yeah. Well, what is your plan?
It'll all be online. And
what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
I'm giving you the answer you deserve. Just a heads up, I've just started the timer, so we may run a little bit long.
Yeah, no worries. We've only got a couple more to watch. I mean, we haven't even watched the Bob Catter video. I mean,
this one's worldwide.
Everyone has to know this one. But I mean, this is another Australian politician. What is his role? Was he the?
Well, no, he was a member of Parliament. He's an independent member of Parliament, and he comes from North Queensland, which is
very
Mount
north.
Isa sort of area. And I spent a bit of time up in Townsville flying transport planes out of there, and all I can say about Mount Isa is that there's just nothing around it. It is just in the middle of absolute nowhere. If you're thinking about, for our overseas viewers, just Australia as a desert.
Yeah,
because
a
lot of it is. That is kind of where Mount Isa. It's the classic Australian just town in the middle of nowhere. If you think that episode of The Simpsons where old mate's on his bicycle to ride to his next door neighbour, that is Mount Isa.
Yeah,
and that's where this guy hails from. And he's an independent because he doesn't need to go for a political party because there's only about 50 people there and they all vote for him because they're all mates.
So yeah, but they do vote for him. Like he is elected.
Yeah, he's an
of
elected
parliament.
member of our parliament. And the other thing is, he's a nut job. Sorry, we'll have a look at him. The main thing about
he's just a mad man.
The other thing about Bob Katter is because he's an independent, he has so much power. He's the most powerful man in because we're so close to both sides having a majority.
He's a swing. He's a swing.
So his electorate gets so much shit because everyone needs to bow to his wish because otherwise he'd go, well, I guess I'm siding with the Liberals on this one. And you're like, go away, Bob.
Yeah.
But he has a really strong strain of thought, though.
Yeah,
like he's really...
And this is him talking about...
same-sex marriage.
Oh, same-sex marriage. Yeah. I forget what he's even talking about because it's what... Let's play it.
Let's just play it.
I mean, people are entitled to their sexual proclivities. I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
Whoa. Whoa. So he's like, all right, he uses the word proclivity.
Proclivity, that's good. Sexual proclivity.
Sexual proclivity. May 1,000 blossoms bloom.
He's so happy. Sorry, I'll just get it up again. I should have
that moment where his face changes is money.
To their sexual proclivities.
Yeah, good.
I mean,
he's so happy.
Let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. But I ain't spent.
Let's flick of the switch. He remembers the crocodiles. No, alligators, crocodiles. What do we have?
Crocodiles.
Yeah.
So I say he's happy. He's happy.
But I ain't spending.
Any time on it.
Look, he's happy. He's happy. Look at the smile.
But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
Also, the bloke in the background is.
Let's have a look at him.
He's having a good nod along at the start there.
People are entitled to their sexual proclivities.
Yep.
I mean,
no, they're not. This guy's shaking his head.
Bloom, as far as I'm concerned. But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
I could watch that 100 times.
That's
I reckon.
So great. That's so great. But I ain't spending any time on it. When every 3 months a person is torn, I think that's a good rate. By the way, every 3 months, you're living around a bunch of crocodiles. You get one goes every 3 months.
Every 3 months, and honestly, probably someone who was instigating that.
Someone was dicking around with a crocodile.
Exactly. Let's just say they whom fucketh find outeth. So the other thing that I find so impressive about that clip is that I don't think there are too many men around, men, women, politicians, that could segue from same-sex marriage to someone getting torn apart by a crocodile.
Work of art.
So quickly.
Yeah. As quickly as his face changed.
Yeah.
He was just having fun talking about,
Yeah, but he wasn't wasting any time thinking about it.
He's like, oh, you made me think about crocodiles again. The crocodile. It's all I think about. I can't get him out of my bloody head.
Well, it must be. It's an endemic up there.
So what's every 3, 6, 9, 12? So that's four blokes a year.
Yeah,
are being eaten by crocodiles. Oh no, that's just in his area, is it? Or
well, North Queensland, so that's a big area, and honestly, there's probably about as many crocodiles as there are people. That's not a fact.
Yeah,
I just want to, but I sounds about right.
Yeah. I'm not too concerned myself. We've come to the end of the line here, Tom. I hope this is all relevant enough as to. I hope I'm justifying why I think I can run for mayor of a city. Population, I'm going to say 284,000.
I reckon it's in the millions, but it's fine.
Of Geelong?
Yeah, I reckon. I don't know. I've got no idea.
Google it.
Well,
all right, we don't have to.
We'll do it later.
Yeah. Well, let's not. Okay, I think it's 284 because I looked it up recently.
Okay,
it is.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
I just wanted to. You do
Well, see,
Google
look,
a thing
look,
and
look at you.
Yeah, I've been
You could
Googling
be the
a
mayor.
lot.
You know the population.
Yep.
You know the name of the town.
Yeah, I know a lot of the streets. I know where the good restaurants are.
Well, one particular Indian restaurant.
The Kohinoor Indian restaurant is fantastic.
Yeah, and that is on
Mallop Street.
Corner of Mallop and Bellarine, I think.
Mallop and Jerringhap, I think you'll find. No. Mallop and...
It's Bellarine, because it's the same one that my in-laws' apartment is under.
yeah,
at the top
you've
of
done well there.
Bellarine
It is,
Street.
yeah. It's Mallop.
Right
It's
below
across the road from the
Westfield.
Office Works is how I
Yeah.
describe it to anyone.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
you know where the Office
If you're
Works
in the
is.
Geelong area, tell them Dave Adams sent you.
Yep.
His mum will promise you that'll get you something.
They'll get you a seat at the window.
They won't. They'll have no idea.
Just describe me.
Yeah.
Physically. They'll be
Yeah,
like, oh yeah,
yeah.
that guy.
The homeless guy looks like Grug. Yep.
This,
cool.
this restaurant, you can bring as much beer as you want. They don't charge you for
Yeah,
it.
it's no corkage. It's amazing. We have been underage drinking there since we were underage.
Yeah.
It transcended the underage, overage experience.
We found a loophole, yeah. Rather than
Yeah.
try to go to a bar and they're like, ask for ID. No, you just bring your own beers to an Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
And they they don't know or care.
This-
They're not even licensed.
This is the other thing, right? Okay, and before we just finish off with some of our last politicians, just one more anecdote from the book.
Yeah.
Right, so being a mayor requires you to be cool under pressure.
Sure.
Right, even when things aren't necessarily going your way, or where there's a bit of pressure on, i.e., you got a 10-foot putt to save, bogey to break 100, or for instance, you're 15 years old and you're buying alcohol for literally everyone in your year group.
That's true.
Because I don't know if
Leadership.
anyone knows this.
Strong leadership.
Dave, as 15, looked almost exactly the same as he does now.
I've barely aged in the last 15 years. 20 years. It's true.
Yeah,
This is
and
what
that's
I've
not a
looked like.
good thing. Well, it was when we were 15.
Yeah. I remember when I was 15, people would ask if I was 30. They were
So-
like, are you 30? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, you just feel like, you should be in charge of this whole city or something.
Yeah, you're
you know?
13 or 30, yeah.
Yeah.
But the greatest part about that was there was an evening, I went to boarding school, you went to a day school,
Yep.
and we were able to get essentially signed out by parents.
Yeah. Like you could get permission.
I could get permission from my parents to
stay
go
at mine.
stay the night at yours
Yeah.
on the weekends. And it was one night, I think it was a school concert or something on, and we were both involved. And my parents had made the trip. They were living in Sale at the time. So they made the journey to Geelong to come and see me. And that evening they thought, well, Tom's over at his mate Dave's house, so my dad thought I'll just get a bottle of wine or something, and me and the missus will just camp up in the hotel and have a lovely glass of red.
Yeah.
And so they're going through the drive-through Great Western Hotel down the corner there of I want to say Noble and Shannon Avenue. Yeah, Shannon Avenue. Yeah.
See, I'm all over it.
Yeah, you're all
All
over
over
it.
it. Yeah.
And as they're driving through, they see 15-year-old Dave Adams walk up and buy 2 cartons of beer.
Yeah, and they're heavy.
They are heavy.
That's 48 beers.
Yeah, and to my parents' credit, they didn't do anything. They went, well, I guess Tom's having a good night.
Yeah, I mean 15. Yeah, we thought that was such a big deal, but like
Yeah.
in Germany they're drinking at like 15 anyway. Like legally. I think it's 16 or was
Yeah,
it 14?
okay.
It's something wild, but it's
crazy.
Come on, let's wrap this up.
Anyway, sorry, I just thought that was a good example of leadership under pressure.
Yeah, I mean I'm the man. Frankly.
Yeah.
This is everyone's seen a lot of Pauline Hanson videos. This is when it's not that long, a couple of years ago. She went into the Senate with wearing a burqa. We'll just play it. We'll just play the start of it. But Pauline Hanson was, I mean,
Oh, what on earth?
yeah, you saw her there. Yep. Here we go. Here we go.
Senators, order. Senators, I've been advised by the clerk via the attendant that the identity of Senator Hanson was established before she entered the chamber. Senator Hanson.
What
I'm
reveal?
quite happy to
Oh,
remove
the
this
Eurovision
because
type reveal
this is
there.
not what should belong in this parliament.
Her point is, this shouldn't belong in this parliament.
Yeah.
because you don't know who I am or how you identify me. So the bloke just says, just let everyone know that we did identify this is Pauline Hanson. Also, who else could it be? For anyone who doesn't know Pauline Hanson, she was our first. I mean, how do you even put this? Like, she was in like the 90s. She was the first like politician, well, the only politician to come out and say that Australia is overrun by Asians. She would just say it.
Yeah,
know?
her great qualification before she became a politician and starting the One Nation Party, she owned a fish and chip shop.
Yeah, fish and chip shop to Parliament.
Yep.
Dude, if she can...
She actually went to jail for a while for voter fraud and then got voted back into Parliament.
That's so great.
You know.
That's so great. I mean, may 1,000 blossoms bloom. You know?
Yeah, but I'm not going to waste any more time thinking about it.
So she was like really anti-immigration.
Yep.
She always said that, Asia was a big part of it. What was her other big thing? Oh, God, it's been such a long time since I've thought about this woman.
Anything really just... racist,
yeah, whatever's
right-wing.
a bad stance to have.
Yeah, she had all of them.
The big one was she was. That's enough of that video. We've only got one more video. The recent one that I found recently was so in Australia we have Uluru is the big sacred rock for the indigenous people.
Yeah,
and so people are always climbing up and down it, like tourists are climbing up and down it, and the indigenous people said, "Can you stop climbing up and down our sacred rock?"
And you're kind of ruining it.
Yeah,
like, it's not just because we don't want you to, like the tracks and the name carving and all that kind of.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, it's because it is a huge rock.
It is big.
I've
flown over. Are you flown over it? It's
I've
big.
never. No.
It's both bigger and smaller than you'd expect. At the same time, you go, "Well, that's impressive," but then you think, "Oh, it's not that impressive." But then you go, "But it's just one rock." You go, "Well, that is impressive," and then you go, "I'm bored now."
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
So this is great. This is great. So she said, people she said that it shouldn't be illegal to climb Uluru. She's like, no, you should be allowed to climb Uluru.
Okay.
So then she goes and climbs Uluru, like politically, right? But then she gets stuck on the rock. She gets stuck on the rock because her shoes are old. And then she sort of changes her mind and says, well, it should be illegal, but only because it's so dangerous. I think that's what it is. Let's play this one.
A senator on a rock and in a hard place.
Seriously, I cannot walk down here. My boots are that bloody old that they're so smooth, I'm not getting any grip. And I'll tell you what, I'm not getting any grip on my backside either.
Pauline Hanson's backside blues prompting something of a backflip on her push to keep the Uluru climb open.
I wasn't expecting how steep it was, and there's not enough safety issues there for them, for anyone that climbs it. So if you were to take a tumble, there's nothing to stop you.
The Queensland Senator says she now supports a decision to close the rock climb on safety grounds. However, she says closing the climb for cultural reasons is a different matter.
I'm hearing a lot of feedback from a lot of Australians and who want to have the right to climb the rock. They believe that we're all entitled to rock as Australians.
But after meeting...
Yeah. So isn't that great? People are taking photos with her while she's stuck on the rock. By the way,
no one's helping her.
That lady went
Of course
over and
not.
was just like, "Can I, while you're here,
Oh, God, the one thing that I liked about that is that she could have just said, "Oh, I've changed my mind due to safety reasons," and left it. But then she had to say no, but for racial reasons. Disagree. So she still had to be racist, even when her mind had been changed.
Yeah.
That is how horrible she is.
She's the most racist
Well, because
politician
a
of all
white
time.
person may have fallen down and died.
Yeah,
and that would have upset her.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Amazing, right? She couldn't be like, oh, she was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Did they say that already? No, I think I said
on
that.
a rock and a hard place.
On a rock and a hard place.
Anyway.
So anyway, I hope this has been illustrative. Love that word. Of some of the leadership Australia has had. Puts me well
I
within
think,
range.
Well, again, we have to put it this way: is that she went from fish and chip shop to being a member of the Senate, actually, and then to jail, straight to jail.
Yep,
and then back to the Senate,
which is crazy.
That's also crazy. And the reason she went to jail was for voter fraud.
Yeah. And
then she gets voted back in, and no one's like,
Yeah. That's the north of Australia for you.
Yeah. And then you got Bob Katter, who's, obviously just thinking too much
Mad.
about crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
We have Tony Abbott,
Abbott,
who
insane.
is the Looney Tune. You've got ScoMo, who shits himself on a weekly basis, according to
can't cook curry.
Yeah, and or handle McDonald's.
So yeah, and then we have that Michaela who loves curry
Who
way
loves curry
too
as well.
much.
But don't tell the Prime Minister that because he might try and cook me one. Now that has some context.
Oh, that's what it was.
Probably.
That's what it
Yeah,
was.
there you
Good
go.
stuff. So we're actually heading off to Sydney tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to go up.
We're going to try and get that Darren Lyons moment. You
Yeah.
know, I think everyone deserves it. It's going to be just good fun.
Yeah.
And Tom, I'm telling you now, you're going to feel an impulse to back away or to puss out of it. You know.
Yeah, that's who I am.
But we're doing it. We're
Okay.
doing it, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna exhibit strong leadership here.
We've got the gear.
Yeah.
As long as I can be the one wearing headphones to make it look semi-official.
Yeah, that's
I
so
think,
great.
I think we'll be okay.
And if he can react poorly, get that camera out of my. If I can get the paparazzi guy
Yeah.
to say, "Get that camera out of my face," you owe
That'd
me a
be-
beer.
Yeah. Oh, I'll give you 10. Maybe we could get him to do it, even if he is.
He might just be like, "Hey, giddy up," you know what I
Yeah,
mean? He might
yeah,
just be into
yeah.
it too, you know.
Yeah, that too.
Whatever happens, it'll be good. So
I'm
we
excited.
just have to follow him based on Instagram and just see where he is during the day.
Yeah, and so we'll do that in Sydney, heading off tomorrow morning, and then from there, just more of a campaign trail. Really, not a campaign trail. This is not a campaign yet because
Yes.
I think legally,
I think we're not
it
allowed to
can't be.
campaign yet, yep.
So this is just a podcast about
Yep.
the general idea.
This
of
is satire,
Yeah.
actually, for
Well,
now.
Yeah, well, look
Until I
at the
put the form in, this is all satire.
Yeah, look at the shirts.
Yeah.
But it'll give us some good information, and we'll take you along on the journey. I think
Yeah.
it'll be an interesting couple days.
Want to shake some babies, kiss some hands.
That's what you
And I
wanna
said
do.
that exactly how I wanted to say it. All right, we'll see you for the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks. See you next time.